Thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and today we have another look at an adventure through a used LEGO store. So if you're familiar with this channel, you may know that I often try to find a used LEGO shop basically wherever I go. I've traveled a lot across the world, and I always try to find some sort of a strange LEGO or curio shop that sells some vintage old stuff, and I had to check out the BrickTraders shop during my recent visit to the UK. So just in case this is one of your first videos, LEGO used stores are pretty common here in the US, and they're also fairly common in Europe and abroad as well, and they basically have a setup where anyone can go and buy, sell, and trade their old and discontinued LEGO. So it's a really great setup because you can actually go into a physical retail location. You don't have to go on Bricklink or pay shipping or whatnot. You can see the sets in front of you. Some of them are fully built, some in boxes, and you can also bargain on deals and try to trade in your old stuff as well. Now, I've actually been to quite a few of these, and I will say that the response has been fairly mixed. That is because a lot of these retail stores, in order to compensate for actually paying rent at a physical location and keeping physical inventory, often have to charge a lot more than Bricklink prices. Now, personally, I've had some good luck with a store called Andy's Brick Shop. It's one of my favorite stores here in the US. It's located in the state of Pennsylvania, and their prices are pretty much around what you'd expect to be around Bricklink. Now, I have not had very good luck at some other shops. Of course, there are some chains of LEGO retailers that have really exorbitant prices for used and old LEGO stuff, and sometimes you'll just get a mix in between. So that's why when I visited the UK this past weekend, I was really curious. There was a major legendary used LEGO store, BrickTraders UK, famous in local AFOL circles, and I had to go and check out the hype and see if it was worth it. So let's just embark on this journey right now and take a look. And stick to the end because I'll be showcasing some of the favorite picks from my recent haul at BrickTraders UK. To actually get to the BrickTraders store from central London, be prepared to spend over an hour taking the subway, trains, and even buses, as well as walking all the way over to where the store is actually located, which is in the town of St Albans, which is very north of the actual main central London city. However, the visit is definitely worth it, and once you get there, you're definitely going to see why. However, I will say making a visit is definitely worth it for anyone in the area because there's a lot of really interesting things to see there. Alright, here we are at the BrickTraders store in the UK. This is located in the picturesque town of St Albans. It's a bit of a drive or a transit from the main center London city, but it definitely is worth the visit. Let's go inside and take a look. Despite the storefront being relatively small, there's actually quite a lot of different sets packed in, and you really have to dig deeper for different treasures scattered throughout. You see, despite these sets being displayed on the front, there are different sets packed behind each of these boxes, so you really do have to dig in and see what sorts of treasures you can find. Right behind one of these more modern Technic sets, you can see one of the original Bionicle 2001 sets, the Manas, as well as just some different city sets. There isn't really a clear organization here, especially because this is such a small space with so many different things crammed in that you really just kind of have to get in there and find all sorts of different treasures, which is one of my favorite things about going to used LEGO stores like these. You never know what you're going to find hidden and tucked away. At the top of the store, there is a really cool display for the Speed Champions race cars. I'm a big fan of the way they have these actually mounted on the ceiling. It just looks really good overall and definitely is a great way to display these models, which are some of my favorite 8-stud wide cars. On one side of the wall, you can see all sorts of different polybags from pretty much different eras of LEGO from years ago all the way up to more modern stuff. And you can also see all sorts of different sets from completely different eras all scattered throughout the store. One section of the store is dedicated to some of the oldest LEGO sets. And don't worry, we're going to be addressing a lot of these in my haul, but a lot of these even predate the LEGO minifigure itself and do come with the original packaging and boxes, which is not something you see every day. Also along here you can see some very vintage and rare LEGO Technic sets, including some of the flagship stuff that I was really excited to pick up, plus a very charming small-scale model of the store itself with the logo actually built out of bricks, which is a very nice touch. All along the store you can see right here just all sorts of sets stacked, and they are getting new inventory every day because they are a used LEGO reseller, so they will be buying and selling different LEGO, which is a really interesting concept and definitely something that I'm very happy to experience overseas because typically you don't really see these too often. They're common in the US to find different used LEGO stores, but sometimes they're a little rare to see overseas, so it's cool that there is actually one in the UK area despite it being a little bit ways out from London. It definitely is worth the adventure. architecture. You can also see that featured here are some standard bins of different LEGO pieces all mixed together, which is always a nice inclusion, as well as display cases near the front for LEGO minifigures, which is basically a quintessential staple for any LEGO used store. Alongside the back, there are some incredibly rare sets here. I was really surprised to see even one of the employee gift sets. This is the 50 years on track employee gift set from 2017, which honestly, if I did not own already, I definitely would have wanted to pick up, because it's really rare to actually see that out in the open and to actually see it priced reasonably well to boot. Now, I do actually want to make a note about prices. Unfortunately, due to the nature of the store, you're definitely going to be paying a lot more than Bricklink for certain sets. While there is room to haggle here and there, many of these sets in this store are actually priced a lot more than you could actually pay for them on Bricklink, which is actually the only reason why I didn't buy a lot of the different sets that I was looking for, simply because I could get them for much cheaper on Bricklink even when you factor in shipping. That being said, there were a few good deals to be had, and you're going to be taking a look at some of them in my haul coming up very shortly. But as you can see here, this is definitely a store where you can really appreciate the contents of these sets on these shelves, but maybe you'd have to think twice about buying every single one you don't own, because they are a lot more expensive than Bricklink. Again though, the prices are a little bit higher because a lot of these sets do include the original boxes and original packaging, which really does set it apart from many other used LEGO stores which simply do not have the luxury of actually having the original boxes. For me personally though, I never really cared too much about keeping the boxes themselves. They're nice to have, but I will not pay extra to have the original box, so paying a lot extra just to have the box itself just didn't make too much sense for me. But I do know a lot of LEGO collectors who very much pride themselves in keeping all of the boxes. I know a lot of people keep LEGO box collections and go out of their way to buy the boxes themselves, so I think for collectors who actually focus on collecting all the boxes, which I do know definitely exist out there, this is definitely one of the best options for you to get sets that sometimes are even sealed in the boxes. But with that, we have summed up our brief tour of the store, and I think it's now time to move on to the haul. So coming up first, we have set number 8680. This is the Technic flagship set featuring the mobile ice command base, which is a really interesting build for Technic. This is back in the era where they were still focusing on studded surfaces, and includes some of the fully posable Technic figures, which were pretty short-lived but very interesting to see. The set did come with the original box, which I did want to actually pick up because this is one of the Technic sets I really had my eye on. I'm trying to collect every single flagship Technic set from previous years, and this is one of the rarest ones. And it's also one of the most unique LEGO builds. Once I've actually opened up the set, which was actually fully sealed, all the parts were in the sealed bags and all the manuals were where they should be, it's really interesting to see that this set actually did originate from the UK. In the Join the LEGO Club here, you can actually see the UK LEGO address, which is very nice to see, as well as the British pounds, only £2.75 for the Bricks and Pieces magazine, which is a pretty interesting subscription service LEGO used to offer back in the day. We also have a LEGO Technic catalog featuring some of the oldest Technic sets, as well as a small advertisement for some of the other LEGO themes for different age ranges, plus a bit of a pamphlet featuring the pneumatic system, which is really integrated throughout this set. We also have finally another technical sets brochure here featuring some of the largest Technic sets, which is really cool to see here, and definitely in the vintage style of LEGO catalog. But with that, we can move on to actually taking a look at the set itself. Again, this is a very unorthodox build for a Technic model. I really do like how different it is compared to many other Technic builds. You can see immediately this is somewhat of a mobile sled or research facility featuring a helicopter inside, as well as different functions for moving, opening the ramps and doors here and there. So the first function here is twisting the gear on the side allows you to raise and open the ramp here, which allows you to actually remove the helicopter, and the helicopter itself can actually spin. You can turn the gear on the side to spin the rotors on the top and the side, which is a pretty basic function, but is nice to see. But obviously the main attraction is actually the pneumatic assemblies inside the main building. So you can see right here on the leg, there is a very tucked away little lever that you can turn, and a pneumatic pump on the side. So moving the lever in one direction allows you to pump air into the hose here to actually raise the platform featuring the minifigure or the helicopter here. You can simply move the lever down to actually move the platform upwards and downwards, which is really nice to see. A very unique function that LEGO doesn't actually do too often today. In fact, we did just get a new pneumatic truck for Technic, but it was a very rare set, and we don't actually often see stuff like this. Unfortunately, that is the only function for this model besides the opening and closing ramp. The pneumatic system is really just used to raise and lower this platform, which is a very simple function, but one that definitely works very well and feels very satisfying as you're moving it. With everything removed, there's a bit of a control panel on the inside, as well as matching colors of skis in red and yellow for the minifigures to use themselves, which is a very fun thing to have. Moving on from that though, we can take a look at another LEGO Technic set. This is set number 42105. It's actually a modern set, which you can still find in stores today, but I got it used because it just was a very, very good value for the used model, and I didn't really mind that it was used for a Technic set like this. It is also a very unorthodox build because this is actually something that is meant to be used in the water. The pontoons are obviously made to float on the water, and this doesn't have many other functions. You can steer the rudders as well as angle the sails, which I guess adds some semblance of play, but it doesn't really feature that complex of a mechanism. Down at the bottom here, you can actually raise and lower some of the pontoons here to allow it to sail through the water in a more straight fashion. Honestly, that is really all I have to say about this model, and with that we can move on to the next haul. So this set right here is one of the oldest LEGO sets, and this truly predates the LEGO minifigure. This is set number 256. It features a squad of policemen as well as a brick-built motorcycle featuring the original style of LEGO homemaker figures, which I do own a few of in my collection, but not many, and it's a really interesting set to boot. You can see it includes 3 different police officers featuring different caps they can actually wear on their heads. This is again the original design for playable LEGO figures before the minifigure was actually introduced, and also introduces some pretty interesting pieces like these stop signs here, which also is very exclusive to this era of LEGO. This set was used, but it did come with the original box and packaging, which is pretty special and interesting to have, which you can see right here. Very nice to see the box in such good quality, especially for a vintage set like this. This is from the 1970s, so one of the oldest LEGO sets. Really nice to add to my collection, and also includes the pamphlet and instruction manual advertising some of the oldest LEGO sets from that time. Unfortunately, I do have to note that this set did come with a knockoff piece. The piece right here is actually not LEGO, it's probably something from Mega Bloks or something. Thankfully, BrickTraders did say that they do have a guarantee. If you ever have any problems with set, you can always let them know on your next visit and they will replace any pieces for you. Unfortunately, I do not know when I will be visiting next because it is very, very far away, and I don't know the next time I will be visiting the London area and have an hour's worth of time to actually visit the store. So I unfortunately will not be able to take them up on their offer to fix that piece. I just wanted to make a note of it, and it's not really anything major because it's just a standard 1x2 brick. But with that, we can move on to our next LEGO set here. This is set number 690, featuring a very rare partnership between LEGO and Shell, which probably will never ever happen again because of the controversy surrounding Shell as a gas company. So it's really interesting to see LEGO actually build a set that has these fully printed Shell logos and partnerships here. It's a very strange and odd micro-scale LEGO set, which again was before the minifigure, but definitely something that you do not see every day, and one that I was very eager to get my hands on. The set includes not 1, not 2, not 4, but 5 different Shell logos printed on 1x2 pieces, as well as an exclusive Shell logo on a 1x6 brick, plus one of the flags itself. So really interesting to see this kind of branding being used. The pieces are all era accurate as well. Again, this is one of the oldest sets from the 1960s or 70s, so one of the most vintage LEGO sets I'll have the honor of adding to my collection. Really happy to pick this up. Nothing much I can say about the build because it is just simply stacking bricks on top of each other, but it is just really cool to see a build like this featuring truly vintage LEGO pieces and a subject matter that will never be made with LEGO again, at least in partnership with this company. And with that, we have summed up my haul from the BrickTraders LEGO store, a mix of vintage and modern sets, and honestly, there were a lot of sets I still had my eye on that I really wanted to pick up, but unfortunately were just far too expensive and I could not justify buying them at that price. Mostly just some of the older LEGO Technic stuff. But with that, I hope you did enjoy this haul, and do let me know in the comments if you own any of these sets or if you visited the BrickTraders store before.
Alright, and with that, we have summed up this video on my latest trip to a used LEGO store, BrickTraders UK. Let me know down in the comments below if you're in the UK area, have you checked it out, do you like it, do you dislike it, and are you planning a visit anytime soon? Thank you all so much for checking out this video. I really do enjoy just finding random used LEGO stores pretty much wherever I go. I'm lining up a trip to Portugal in the next week, and I definitely will be visiting some of their used LEGO stores as well. So stay tuned if this is your kind of thing, and if you enjoy looking at me explore these used LEGO stores and give some tips and tricks on where to find the best ones. Of course, stay tuned to DuckBricks for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon, and thank you all so much for tuning in. Bye bye for now.